Welcome everybody to another installment of Creative Perceptions, and where dreams meet reality. I'm your host, Zackery Rogers. I'm glad to be back. I just want to go ahead and, yeah, it was tough. Vikings, we went out kind of bad. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at the fact that we did lose. I'm mad at how we lost. However, I think we should still sign Sam Darnold or re-sign Sam Darnold to a 3-year deal, third year player option or franchise option. This is his first playoff experience. A lot of people were like, "Oh my God, it was Sam Darnold. It's all his fault." And it's not his fault. It's a team game. The offensive line didn't block all the way. There was catches that were dropped. Whole nine. Yes, you could point the finger at him, but at the end of the day, he got drafted by the Jets. He played a few years there, and then he went to the Carolina Panthers. So you went from hell to the penitentiary, essentially. I hate to use penitentiary as a metaphor, but you can't blame Sam Darnold. So I think we should sign him back. I'm just hoping GM and Ziggy Wolf and the rest. I hope they don't do anything crazy. JJ McCarthy is not going to be ready. The beginning of the 2025 season, you tore ACL. Yes, he's throwing and things of that nature, but I just don't think that he's going to be ready at the beginning. So keep Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold could be our McCarthy. Sam Darnold could be our right now quarterback. I'm not saying franchise. I don't think JJ McCarthy is our franchise either. I would like to see Justin Fields, but neither here nor there. Um, Condolences to the Ravens fans. I was definitely rooting for y'all, but Josh Allen, I guess he talked to Tom Brady and started growing his hair out, and now he's cooking. Um, the Texans put up a good fight. If they were healthy, I think that game could have went another way because essentially they were one dimensional with Joe Mixon and everything, but it is what it is. The Eagles squeaked by, but respect to Jalen Hurts. Hope his knee gets better. It was a good weekend of playoff football. I am not mad. And shout out to the Commanders. I cannot stand the Commanders, but I have to give them the respect. Jaden Daniels, a cold-blooded. I knew he was going to be like that. I called it before LSU. I even called the upset of the Detroit Lions. They got a little too cocky, and then they were injured. And I don't want to see them win anyway. No shade, but I like the Lions. Detroit's economic situation is booming because of them now, so good for them. But they was talking too much trash. There was too much of this, and don't get me wrong, Justin Jefferson and all of them were doing that, but whatever. Yeah. And in my Pistons, they are 21 and 21, so we are getting active. Unrivaled has been good. I haven't not been able to catch all the games, but I do plan on catching the slate today. And then also with the MLK basketball. So if you're getting this episode or watching it tomorrow, this was definitely recorded on Monday. I definitely shouldn't talk about that. But yeah, so today, like I said, we're going on a series of just kind of talking about life and things to expect. Um, so for those who may not know, I tore my Achilles in December, strolling like a Sigma. Shout out to Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. Also shout out to Alpha Nu Omega Fraternity Incorporated as well. But I, you know, came down wrong on somebody's foot because they decided to form a circle, but partially tore. It could have been worse. It could have been a full tear. And a partial tear is like a random, I don't want to say it's a conundrum, but it is random. Or they said it's rare, excuse me. They said you either tear it all the way or you don't, or you strain your calf. So, God gave me a little grace and I tore that thing a little bit. But it's been a lot of ups and downs, but like I'm the type of person I don't like to dwell in pity. I like to focus and like look at the positives. My dad's always been big on that. And then just my faith. My dad's always like, it could be worse. It could be worse. It could be worse. All right. Yes, you're right. It could be worse. However, in this moment, I'm not trying to think about the worst. But in hindsight, shout out to DLR PDS. And my dad DLR, David Lynn Rogers. Sorry to put your government out there. Um, it wasn't the worst. So throughout this time, December 17th, and now it is January 20th, so it's been a month. I've had some highs and I have some lows, as aforementioned, but I just want to focus on the positives. And this episode is just going to be talking about gratitude and just gratefulness, so to speak. So before tearing my Achilles, I was kind of all over the place. Running and ripping, whether it was work, whether it was Sigma, whether it was my hobbies, whether it's playing cards like Yu-Gi-Oh or whatever. Yes, I play Yu-Gi-Oh. I don't care. Whether it's that, whether it's PlayStation, gym, and just being busy, but really not evaluating whether or not I'm effective. Tearing this Achilles has definitely helped because it's forced me to slow down. Like, unfortunately, sometimes when it comes to family, we don't necessarily see each other. We all have excuses or we're just busy. Um, and unfortunately, we only see people each other when it comes to funerals or negative situations. And I definitely want to get away with that or get away from that. So this has definitely forced me to slow down. It's forced me to like check in on people because I didn't really tell too many people that I tore my Achilles because I don't really like asking for help, but it's been a gut check. Definitely been going to therapy way before I tore my Achilles, but that's definitely been it's helped me analyze certain things. It's like sometimes you move too fast and then sometimes you take time for granted, but when you have nothing but time, you kind of change it. So I've worked on my patience, just slowing down, just really evaluating things, just embracing the moment. And God talks about it in scripture, not like forecasting or not being, I don't want to say, I'm paraphrasing. So far, you Bible scholars, I am sorry. But basically, not taking your current time for granted and assuming you have more time left because no man or woman knows the hour, blah, blah, blah. But really like just enjoying it, enjoying people, not taking people for granted because I may not be going, but other people are going, or I could be going, whatever the case may be. Enjoying like the people around you. I don't like asking for help. I don't like depending on people. I will depend and ask for help on certain people, but like sometimes you kind of foreshadow and you push other people out. So during this time, like a lot of my friends, my family, shout out to everybody that's been praying for me, DMing me, just checking in on me. It's been tough mentally. I'm not gonna lie to you because I'm so used to being able to do everything quick, compartmentalize, break things down. But I've been able to enjoy like my girlfriend, like I know she's tired of me because like oh she thinks I'm faking it, but I'm not. Shout out to you. You know who you are. I love you, girl. Um, and then just speaking with my mom, my dad more, my little brother, my cousins, my uncles, and then like again, I play Yu-Gi-Oh. I don't care. Yes, it's a childhood card game. I don't care, but it wanted my math and my strategy is getting better. Am I the best? No. But also, like, I kind of met a community within a community inside of that as well. Shout out to Walt's cards and games, and shout out to Superstar Cards, even Critical Hits. I haven't been there yet lately since I tore it, but yeah. And then like I got to do a podcast with my little brother and my dad. I'm starting to read a lot more. I just did finish Rich Paul's book, Lucky Me, a memoir of surviving the chances, or sorry, Rich Paul. Let me get it right. Rich Paul, Lucky Me, a memoir of changing the odds. Really good. I love the book. I'm not gonna rate it on a number because that's disrespectful. That's somebody's like livelihood and their life, but it was really good. It definitely just taught me about like circumstances. Again, it could be worse. And just seeing the stuff that he overcame and how he always had an entrepreneurial mindset and he didn't necessarily have the best relationship with his mother or his father. Not to say that I can relate to that. Well, I can relate to it because me and my dad always haven't had the best relationship, but we've always been able to like we talk, we're able to like rekindle whatever. But just learning the lessons from just livelihood, your adolescence, your parents, no matter if your circumstance is perfect, just being able to sit down and try to talk. But if you can't, still having that revere and that respect of them and seeing them in the impure form because God forgives us every day. So we got to be able to forgive other people. Been able to hang out with my dog more, Zoe, who's asleep behind me, awkwardly. I thought she'd be barking throughout this whole video. My job has been working with me, allowing me to work remote during this time. Been able to watch a lot of TV and work hard and advise the students. And I'm realizing, like, yes, for those who know, like, I'm big on higher education and I want to be a sports journalist full time. However, like, in this time, it's like I'm struggling because I don't know if I want to be a journalist full time or work in higher education. I've gotten a few offers. The salary was a little, it's a little down, but I've gotten a few offers. One was to move to Mississippi, and the other one was New Mexico. I've never been to New Mexico, so I was like, I don't know. Higher ed, like I love higher ed. I kind of fell into it, but it was kind of like when I was graduating from undergrad. Shout out to Danny Moloch, excuse me, Dr. Moloch. Um, I wasn't even thinking about a master's degree. We was like, you got to get a master's degree. You look at the market, and we're not basic. You got to really promote yourself and really up yourself further. And I was like, I don't know what I want to do. I wanted to be a sports journalist, but I didn't understand the department at the time. And it was telecom at Morgan State. It wasn't SGJC at the time. So I didn't really understand everything. And then if you ask any of the students, it was horrible. The professors and the advising, blah, blah, blah. And ironically, I end up advising once they become a SGJC School of Global Journalism and Communication, which is one of the very few HBCUs that have their own research accreditation. Shout out to them. Shout out to the inaugural dean, Dwayne Wickham, and shout out to Dean Jones. Shout out to Carl Hyden, that's my guy. And everybody who works in SGJC. Like, there's so many good people over there. But like I don't know necessarily if I want to do that. And since I've been teaching, I like making an impact because I was not a student in K through 12. I was told I was slow. I was told I should have an IEP. I was told that I wasn't going to amount to anything. And then now I'm in a position where I'm advising people, where I'm admitting people. I've been an academic advisor. I've been an advisor. I'm a professor going on 8 years. Hold on, we're in 2025. So actually, yeah, 8 years. Excuse me, 8 years. Um, I've been in multiple funnels of higher education. I've done student affairs. It didn't last as long as I would like it to, but I'm grateful because now I have this clarity. Like I really love helping students and I love helping people. And I was like, I love sports journalism, but I don't, maybe it's not my time, or maybe I need to do both. I mean, I am an African American man, and African Americans and black or brown people, women or male, them, they or theirs, we don't have the luxury of doing one thing. We can't compartmentalize ourselves. We have to be able to do, we always have been naturally inclined to do multiple things because we had to from our ancestors. But so like I said, just spending time with family, slowing down, just trusting the process, embracing the now. My faith has grown. That's the most first and foremost thing. My faith has grown. Sometimes we focus on God like when things are bad and good. But in this process, I focused on God when it was bad. I'm not gonna lie. I focused on God when it was good. I focused on God in between, and I'm trying to get better on that. And I'm just realizing we give ourselves these outlandish shout out to Dondre. We give ourselves these outlandish tasks and objectives, but it's just like God just wants to see what your heart is, and that's just been a big blessing. Yeah, I'm full of gratitude. So I'm just grateful for my friends, my family, for an opportunity, for a roof over my head. Like throughout this period, when I tore my Achilles, if I didn't have a job, or if I didn't have good benefits, I would not have been able to go to urgent care within 48 hours. I would not have been able to go to physical therapy. I would not be able to afford physical therapy and my appointments. Every physical therapy session has been $15. I mean, obviously my job in the state of Maryland, obviously they take care of a bulk of things, but all I have to come out of pocket for physically, I mean, obviously it comes out of my check, but you know what I mean? But out of my physical pocket during that time is $15. And I'm just grateful because if I didn't have a job, I wouldn't have been able to pay for it. My girlfriend's been super supportive. Yes, we've butted heads. I mean, we're only human, but I'm just extremely grateful for her. My friends, my family, they've been supportive. I didn't want to post anything on social media because that's just not me. But I felt like somebody else may be going through something, whether it's mental, emotional, social, physical. So I just want to be like, look, I'm in there with you. I tore my Achilles and it hurt all three phases or four phases. But now it's just like I'm gonna use this to propel me. You know, God willing, this PT's been kicking my butt, but it also is like sometimes you have to start over and you have to be grateful, but knowing God is with you every time. Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5 has been in my arsenal this whole time. And I just been focusing on that, not going again, not leaning on my own understanding or my own heart and focusing on what God has to say, paraphrasing for all you Bible scholars. But I'm excited for 2025 despite certain changes, certain numerical changes. But my little brother's definitely been impact, and just therapy's been huge, like just being able to reflect and really being able to like recaps things. So for all those who may be going through a tough time, whether you feel low, whether you feel high, sad, whatever the case may be, it's gonna be okay. uh, Trust in God. If you don't trust in God, trust in love, which is God, but neither here nor there. Or if you're like just lost, reach out to your friends. And then for your friends, always check on the strong ones, because the strong ones will smile, they'll try to do everything, they'll lift the load, but then they'll be struggling inside. But we all got to stick together. So I'm not gonna keep y'all, but this week's word has been grace, gratitude, and grateful, but mostly grateful. So much love, chicken grease, and peace. This is my new logo. So shout out to Creative Perceptions. You will see some photography coming. Check out some black and brown businesses, whether it's JR Productions, or JR Kid Productions. Excellent videographer, excellent photographer. Shout out to Westworld Photography. Check that out. Check out Delonte Eats. Check out He's gonna kick my butt. Dondre, I can never Don on the diamond. If you have any MLB, any softball players, check out Don on the diamond. Dondre on. That's my guy. Grew up with him. There's so many other black and brown businesses. Check out DLR PDS. Um, just spearheaded by my father. He does physical fitness and training. He does human resources. A lot of human resources policies. It's hard to keep up with those things, and you kind of get caught up. And we don't really like to read. I'm one of them, trying to get better. And then he also does nutrition. So if you're looking for that, check out DLR PDS. There are a lot of black and brown businesses. Let's support one another. Let's look at that. Let's make sure. I'm missing one. I want to say Zeta Creations or Z Creations. Um, Let me see. Let me get myself right. I'm just gonna take like I'm gonna learn my patience. I was talking about patience. Zeta Creations. Just check that out. Dope people, dope things. Um, yeah, it's MEAC time. It's MEAC conference play. Go check that out. I love you all. Be safe and stay encouraged. God bless.